Hey, first of all, I want to apologize for the gameplay. I recorded this with my webcam basically because I have no real camera to record, but I think it gives off an authentic look, a really humble and genuine look. And yeah, if I'm playing terrible on the game, just know it's because I really can't see what I'm doing because I have the camera in front of me. So yeah, the Steamy Dickinson is such a cool console, but it's definitely a thing only a small niche group of people will actually enjoy. And I think that's something a lot of reviewers don't say. I've watched a few reviews and they always get all technical and stuff. And they always go, it's a PC on the go, therefore it's good for traveling. So I'm here to give you a genuine review about the deck. But first of all, let's go over why I even own one. I swear this thing came out? Well no, this thing was only announced and that's it. For a while I had a PC, but my brother would also use it. It was in the living room, which if you ever had a living room PC, you know it's basically not even yours or anybody's, and you can't do anything not safe for work there, so it's not even, it's boring. And yeah, it was in the living room, so if anybody opened the door behind me, the whole world would see my musty ass playing Rust at like, well, I don't know why anybody would open the door at like 2 a.m., but still. But now that I have an actual PC in my room, I don't know how I did it. Like, I really can't comprehend how I used to play video games in my living room. That's just mind-blowing to me, that I was actually unbothered by playing in the living room. So I did have a PC, but it was in the living room. But I didn't necessarily get it for that reason. You see, I started working at a warehouse really far from my place. It was a 10-hour shift, and I had to use the bus to get there. And I would have to wake up super early for that and leave the warehouse as soon as that, well, there was like a bell rang, because otherwise I wouldn't catch the first bus, and if I missed that bus it would be like 30 minutes more added to my travel time, which meant, no joke, I would have like 2 to 3 hours of free time when I got home before I would go to bed. But not only that, but I was tired AF. So during work I'd be like, damn, I can't wait to go home and play blah blah blah, well at the time it was Cyberpunk, on my computer. But when I got home I'd be like, nah, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, there's something about playing on a PC that doesn't really feel relaxing to me. It doesn't feel the same as playing console on the couch, you know? Like, I just came back from work and it was nighttime. Oh my god, it's nighttime right now too. You hear that shit? Like, I just came back from work and it was nighttime. I would literally fall asleep on my way back home on the bus. I would drop my phone constantly in the bus because I would doze off. And I would always feel stupid, like, shit, I'm just falling asleep here. I just wanted to rest. But there is nothing resty about sitting straight in a chair to play games with my arms extended like a Minecraft zombie. No matter how comfortable the chair is. Like, seriously, I did try playing a few times. I sat down in the chair and all, but seeing the Steam pop up saying launching game made me go like, nah, I just want to go to bed. That might have just been me though. That's definitely a subjective thing. You might enjoy playing on the PC much more than playing on the couch. But day after day I wanted to play something, but I couldn't because I was too tired to play. And suddenly, on my way to work in the morning, someone on the bus pulled out a Steamy Dickinson. I knew what it was because I heard about it, but I only heard about it as if the forest had whispered that shit in my ear. So seeing one in real life was sort of crazy, like a Bigfoot sighting or some shit. Like a damn Daniel sighting or something. Like a damn
Damn, Daniel!
Ever since that day, for some reason, I just obsessed with the idea of owning one. I was super fascinated by it. Like, oh shit, that's exactly what I need. For some reason, it just felt like that was exactly what I needed. So I ordered the most expensive one, which was $700, just because that one had a better screen and a larger storage size. And I waited, I think, weeks for that shit to arrive. I think it was like 2 weeks. It arrived and I couldn't use it for a whole week. I can't even remember specifically why, but I think it was because it was around December, so it was really busy in the warehouse. And by the time I got home to play it, each time it would require an update or something like that. But eventually I was fully set up. There was no better feeling than getting home tired, feet pulsating, getting in bed, resting my feet, blanket on me, turning off the lights, starting up the Steam Deck, and playing some Cyberpunk in bed. And I would play till my head started to roll off my shoulder. Seriously, the sleep I would get after waking up from a 10-minute nap with drool on my shoulder, Steam Deck running so I would turn it off, and hearing that orgasmic off sound, no sleep like it. I was actually resting as I played. It was such a big W for me. Like, I really felt like I was getting the most of my money with the Steam Deck. It was like it was made specifically for this situation and for me. But that's the thing, it made perfect sense for me to buy it because of my situation. I feel like playing on PC isn't comfortable enough to get rest in. I had little free time, and I came back from work really tired. Maybe you do feel comfortable playing on the PC. Maybe you do have some free time. And that's kind of the catch with the Steam Deck. Not everybody will get the same amount of use out of it. And to be honest, if you have a PC, don't buy a Steam Deck. I always have friends come up to me and ask me if they should buy one, but I know they have PCs and I always say no. There's zero reason why you should have one if you have a PC. I feel like you would know if it would be useful to you, you know? Let's go over some of the cons of the Steam Deck. 1. It's heavy as shit. I always hear tech reviewers go, yeah, it's kinda heavy, it's a big boy. But they sorta don't understand the question. It's not about how heavy it is, it's about if it's annoying to carry. Which the answer to that is yes. When they say, oh, it's sorta heavy, yeah, they're right. But I'm here to answer your real question. Yes, it's just crossing that heavy line where it's heavy enough to where it is annoying to travel with, and it is also really tiring on your hands. Seriously, I always use it while playing in bed, so I'm laying down and I have like a pile of blankets stacked up in front of my chest to make like a little stand for it, and it's comfortable that way. But after like 6 minutes, your hands start to feel cold because there's no blood running to them. Sometimes you find a sweet spot where it doesn't tire your hands, but like 70% of the time, your hands will get tired and you'll find yourself waving your arms around to the side to get some blood flowing to them. It really does get pretty bad at times, especially compared to the Switch. I remember I was just done using the Steam Deck and I saw a Nintendo Switch on the couch, so I picked it up and almost flung that shit straight through my skull. It was so light compared to the deck. Seriously, I was like, no way the deck is that heavy. So I went back to my room and I grabbed that shit to compare. And it was like night and day. It was like bricks and a feather. Seriously, it really was like holding a brick. I couldn't believe how light the Switch was. But to be fair, the Switch is pretty impressive for being that light. And the Steam Deck plays some impressive AAA games. So the weight kind of makes sense. But I'm just pointing that out. Now, would I buy it to travel? Absolutely not. Look, a few weeks ago I finally traveled for the first time ever, and I did it alone with basically no research or help, last minute too, so I had like a week to prepare. And since I was going to Japan, it was like an 11-hour flight, so I figured, hey, maybe I should take a video game console with me to entertain myself in the flight. But then I also wanted to consider, you know, landing in Japan and how I would like travel and stuff around there, and not once did the Steam Deck cross my mind. And when it did, I instantly discarded that idea. As someone who has never traveled before, you'd think I'd be naive enough to bring the Steam Deck with me. The Steam Deck is heavy and big enough to where it's annoying to carry around. Even just in a bag or suitcase, it takes up a lot of space. And I mean shit, it's almost the same size of a PS1. Shit, the PS1 is smaller. Okay, that's kind of cheating, but you get what I mean. I ended up taking a modded DS with me, and that did the job better. In fact, I played it in the plane, I put it away, and when I landed, I completely forgot I had it with me until like the last day. So it literally did the job perfectly. And even if I did bring the Steam Deck, I don't even know if I would have played it. It's a bit too heavy and big to be comfortably playing in a plane, especially in just a plane seat, especially for more than an hour. And not to mention the battery life, depending on the game, it can be down to 2 hours long. So I wouldn't have been able to play that long even if I did play. So I really mean it when I say I couldn't imagine myself carrying around the Steam Deck in its case. It would have been hell. But again, depending on how you travel, maybe it would have been good for you. See, I was there as a tourist. I was just gonna go 2 days in Tokyo, 2 days in Kyoto, 2 days in Nara. I was just gonna be all over the place. It would have been really bad for me to take the Steam Deck with me and just drag that shit all over the place. But if you were, say, visiting a family member or something like that, maybe then it's useful because you'll probably have some off time and stuff, maybe not move around a lot. Then it might be useful. Again, it's really depending on your situation. You really have to treat it more as a console than a portable. It's like the opposite of the Switch. It can also be both, but the Switch is seen more as a portable than a console. So I'm just gonna say it. It's not good for traveling, with a few exceptions of course. Another issue with the deck is that I found the less expensive model to have so little storage space. Seriously, even with the most expensive model, I feel pretty restricted with the storage capacity. But the normal storage is like way less. It's almost unacceptable how little it is. Also, this might just be me, but the trackpad and the touchscreen feel off. I don't know how to describe it, but they never feel accurate. And in most games, they straight up are useless. And if anything, they kinda mess up the game a little, making them feel like they really are broken. But seriously, if I had to describe how off it feels like trying to draw something on your phone while your hand is sweaty or you have goon on your screen. Sometimes it feels like it's too sensitive to touch, and you touch something and it's gonna touch like 3 other stuff. And other times it feels like it doesn't even touch at all. The trackpad is cool though. I like the texture it has and the little ball thing that rolls under it when you slide your fingers on it. But that's the thing though, I really haven't found a use for it in any games. And on the Steam Deck Linux thing, it works but you'll struggle a bit. I don't know, that was kind of a letdown. The trackpad seemed so cool before I got it. Like imagine aiming in a first person shooter and slightly adjusting your aim with the trackpad to get better shots. That really doesn't work. For starters, one of the 2 trackpads feels useless. I think it doesn't even do anything. It acts more like a second D-pad, but it's kinda useless, or at least it has been for me. I always forget I have it. And second, most games don't even have anything assigned to the trackpad. The trackpad feels more like it's meant for bigger movements rather than quick small adjustments. Here you can see me trying to aim at the top of this fire hydrant, and it's really just not working. Also, check out what touching the screen does in some games. Yeah, I really don't know why this happens. I did like that they added these bumpers in the back though. You have 4 of them and they are really nice. You can put whatever key you want in them, and they are super useful. That or super annoying. Some games have presets in them, and they just kinda make it so I want to turn them off. And to be honest, I only had one situation where it was useful. I can't remember why, but I think it's because run was assigned to the stick, and it felt really awkward trying to run with the tank controls that way on the Steam Deck. So this was a really nice fix. Overall, the additions are super wonky, but if you find a use for them, they are really nice. I did try to play some games that felt like they would require to use these, especially the trackpad and the touchscreen, so I could see how well they would work as a replacement for the mouse. I think I tried Civ 6 or something, and it wasn't really good. Again, the trackpad is very inaccurate, and the touchscreen doesn't always work, so it doesn't do good for games like that. What the Steam Deck does amazing that actually surprised me was the sticks. They are like the best sticks I ever touched in a controller. The texture is so nice. I really cannot say the same for the shit ass top bumpers. Even now when I think of the Steamy Dickinson, all I can think about is those amazing sticks. Mr. Dickinson is amazing for PS3 and Xbox 360 era games. It can basically run any of those games perfectly, and they're always a good time playing them from bed. This is honestly less of a PC and more of a Bethesda and survival horror deck, because that's exactly what it excels at. You can play any Bethesda game here, you know, the good ones, anything before Fallout 4, and the Steam Deck was basically my gateway to survival horror, which also led me to just starting this channel because I wanted to jap about Resi after I beat them all. I decided I would play the Resident Evil franchise here since I only ever played 4 and 5, and so for 2 months straight I played them all from 0 to 8. Yes, I played basically all of them here with a few exceptions because they weren't available on the Steam or weren't on discount. They all run perfectly on the deck, although I think Resi 0 had a crashing problem. But who cares, the game is ass. I play all the Dead Spaces here too, and Fear. Okay, kind of. I played Dead Space 1 here perfectly, but at some point I ended up buying an expansion on Amazon for the Steam Deck, basically allowing you to hook up the Steam Deck, like the Switch, to a monitor, and I play with mouse and keyboard, and that's basically how I played the rest, especially Fear, since you would catch me dead before I play Fear with a controller. I would also record the gameplay for my first videos from the Steam Deck using this same thing before I had a PC. So yeah, the Steam Deck is perfect if you want to play older games you missed out on. I wouldn't say the same for any online game or AAA game though. I really don't recommend this if you want to play like, I don't know, CSGO or something like that. I don't even know if you can, but if you can, you shouldn't. The Steam Deck doesn't always count as a controller in games. So let's say you play, I don't know, Call of Duty or something, you might think, oh, it's just gonna be like having a Xbox 360 controller or something connected, right? Well, that's not really the case. It kind of tries to translate the mouse and keyboard into the deck, but it doesn't work exactly like you expect it to. It's literally like putting the mouse on the joystick. It's horrible. But if it can run it, it literally tells you on the main page, like, hey, this is perfect for the Steam Deck, which means that usually isn't the problem there. But yeah, you shouldn't really play online games here. It's really not recommended. But as for AAA games, they just barely run, if they ran at all in the first place. The most impressive games I play here are The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, and 7 Days to Die. They run honestly pretty good. Obviously the downside is the graphics and resolution, But to me, it's worth it if it means I get to play a AAA game from the comfort of my bed. The frame rate is stable enough and the audio helps a lot. The audio is actually super impressive and loud. Seriously, you can turn this up all the way up and you would hear that shit from like the other side of your house. It is very possible to get immersed in the Steam Deck. At times when I turn off the lights, I would even forget I'm playing on the Steam Deck. I'm just enjoying the game. I think The Witcher 3 is the one that struggles the most in the Steam Deck. It really had the deck begging for mercy and it just doesn't feel as good. 7 Days to Die runs surprisingly well here. It's actually so playable that I'm able to play from the recording. Of course there are a few stutters, but I didn't even tinker with the game or anything. I didn't for any of them, by the way. It's just on the preset Steam Deck settings, which is like they try to make it so it's playable while also making it look kinda decent. So if you put it on like low settings, it actually runs pretty great. Honestly, I always just go for low settings with like medium textures and maybe even lower the resolution a bit. Still, having 7 Days to Die playable here is crazy work. That shit wouldn't even run on the PS4 Pro. And here it's almost really good. As for Cyberpunk, it's so playable on the deck. You might have to move a few settings though. Here I'm playing with the preset Steam Deck settings and look at me destroy these innocent civilians and cops. If I'm able to pull shit like this on the Steam Deck while playing with input lag from playing from the recording, then you know it's playable. Still, I wouldn't recommend getting this if you expect to play a lot of AAA games here. So yeah, the Steam Deck is not very convenient. It has upsides, yes, but I feel a lot about it is super underwhelming. It's only convenient if it perfectly suits your situation. If it doesn't, then there really isn't any reason why you should own one. It's not like the Switch where even if you don't plan to travel or play a lot, at least the Switch is worth owning just so you have access to Nintendo games. I think that's actually a missed opportunity. It'd be cool to see some exclusive Steam Deck games, but I guess there isn't any. Anyways, that's the end of the video. If you felt like this video was really negative, it's because I used the Steam Deck so much that I needed to get these things off my chest, you know? For a while I felt like I wasted a lot of money on this, but thinking about how much I used it before, I think I got my money's worth. I just feel like it's not worth for most people. But yeah, I really do like this console, but I'd be lying if I said it's not picking up dust in my drawer, because it is. Ever since I got my PC, I've literally only touched it a few times. But yeah, that's all I had to say about the Steam Deck. Thanks for watching.